Good afternoon, approaching 4 p.m. Time for swaying and some stretching. Just tried to find Bex's yesterday sway, couldn't find it. So I've picked up what she did on Monday and we'll kind of build something on the back end of that. And then maybe if Bex is on the 4 p.m. tomorrow, you can re-add in the bit that she added in on Tuesday back in. How does that sound for a plan? A rather convoluted plan, but a plan all the same. So it's 3:57, few minutes until we launch into our 3-2-1 Cirque Boost Sway and Stretch. If you are here on catch up, good for you. Thank you very much for finding the time. I mean, I don't need to thank you. We're just here anyway. But your body will thank you. Your mind may thank you. Your flexibility may thank you. And your coordination may not thank you, depending on which way the sway routine ends up going. I feel a little bit skew-whiff. I've just found this out of the mountain of washing that I've got to fold over there. Do you want to have a look at it, Chris? Have a look at this. Hang on. Oh, hang on. Oh, sorry, just got my big forehead then. I mean, look at that. Beastie of a pile. That's what I'm going to be doing after I've finished movement snacking with you lot. Piling everything up. Normally that'd be in the spare room, but the spare room and the upstairs is kind of dusty from our bathroom reworking that we're having done. Willow's just growling at me as well. Bye, my love. Bye. They had a fight this morning, so they're both on sanctions. And it also means that our Willow is on super creep mode. Mum, I've been really mature at school. Me and Neve have spoken about what's happened earlier. And I'd just like to say that we've apologised to each other. And now I'm going to apologise to you. That's Willow. And I'm like, what does she want, really? The work is going just fine, Chris. It just has highlighted the fact how much I need to get into the attic to sort it out. So perhaps Mr. Leverton and I will be making our way into the attic. Woo, exciting stuff. To give it a good old clear out, I reckon. It's got like 14 years worth of stuff from us being here, and the previous people. Some of their stuff is probably still up there as well. Afternoon, Vivian. Afternoon, Paul, and Mrs. Perry. That's who we've got in right now. We have no longer a bath and no longer an upstairs toilet. So it truly does feel like we're in a terrace house, having to come all the way down right to the back of the house for the bathroom. I did manage to get a shower at the gym earlier. It's given me motivation to go to the gym because I can have a shower afterwards there. Right, everyone. Afternoon, Gillian with a G. Let's do this. It's 4 p.m. And I'm really not sure what the date is, but 3-2-1. I think it's Wednesday the 10th of January 2024, and we're going to be getting on with our circulation boosting. So seated or standing, please choose what's right for you. Let me swizz myself around here. If you are in standing, stack yourself on top of your legs, not too wide a base there. Stack your spine all the way through, little lumbar curve, little shoulder curve, and an inward curve for the neck, up, straight, lengthening through. Same in seated there with that tall spine position. Start pedaling the legs when you're ready and just find your own pace. Find your own speed and settle into it. If you're starting from seated, some of you might already be getting started at the front third of the chair, but do remember to put in some of these valuable hip walks to bring yourself into more of like a working position in the seat. Foot pedals can progress into leg marches, and the circulation boosting on whole can progress to adding in upper body arm swings. One arm, both arms, using external support, swapping sides, or progressing to not using external support, providing your coordination feels all right, you're happy with how you feel, and there's no balance challenge through letting go of your external support. Treading through the feet, swinging around the shoulders, driving the elbows back, and just a small pickup of the knees there. Now, if you want, you can feel free, go for a travelling circulation booster where you stride it out and go for a little walk up through the lounge, through the kitchen, round in a circular route if you've got one, and just stride it out a little bit. It's more like you're walking like you mean it. And in seated, if you want a travelling circulation boosting, you can do some hip walking, holding on the side of your seat, or you can do some hip walking with getting some arm swings to join it as well. Last little flutter and flurry of movements here, and bring that down to an eventual stop. You might want to have a small slump here. You might want to just have a bit of a fidget with your shoulders, and deeper breathing throughout is just where we need to be. Right, everyone, Bex's beginnings of the sway then. So, if I remember rightly from a little bit of homework that I just did on this sway routine, we had some palm up positioned sways, and if you want to, you can just start to bring a little bit of trunk movement in there and gaze change, and you end up just glancing there at your palms up. Now the next part was making a little bit of an L. It's up to you where you want your hands. So sway there and then position like a right angle, if you like. Sway through. And there's a small little finishing bit on the end. I'm not quite sure what to call that. A finishing flutter. There. So do 2 of the original sways with the arms, and then 1 with the L-shape finish. So a swing and a sway through, swing and a sway through, and then an L-shape to finish. That's where the Monday sway got you up to. I'm not sure what came in on the Tuesday sway because I couldn't find it. But what we're going to do next is put a little bit of legs into it. Now with standing, it's going to be like a bend and a tap. It's just a small tap of the big toe there. A bend and a tap, and a bend and a tap. And you can see that that works quite nicely with that arm movement. Make sure you've got enough space around you, or your external support might be in front of you, so that you're able to do that with the external support and one arm on the move. In seated, we can shift. We can put a bit of a tap in there. feels a little bit awkward, you can just do a lift of your heel. So swaying across, heel lift, or swaying across and a small tap. It's up to you. So just releasing the heel there for your standing option. Sinking into the knees a little bit there as well. So we've got 1 sway, 2 sway, take it across and pause. That's a small pause there at the L shape. And then we start again. 1, 2, bend, but pause and find your way back to this central position. So on that last one, there's not a tap on the end. And then you go off to the other side, of course. Keep going with that. Bend and sweep, bend and sweep, bend and finish with the L. Bend and sweep, bend and sweep, and then finish with the L. Let's do one more on each side. Bending, sweeping. Use your trunk and your change of gaze if you would like. Use your support in standing. There we go. Actually, in seated, leave those feet out that little bit wider. If you're in standing, reverse your way up to whatever you're going to sit on and take a slow, controlled, evenly worked through the legs, soft sit down. And then change your position with a few hip walks, so you're more in the front third of your chair. Feet out wide. We're going to do the inner thigh stretch. So just let your knees turn out to the side. Let your toes point out to about 10 to 2 as well. You can push with your palms of your hands, or you can, gives a more open shouldery position, you can turn and press the backs of your hands against your thigh. And opening up the groin, opening up the inner thigh, stretching all down the inner thigh muscles. For when you need to take your feet a bit wider, your knees further apart. If you're getting into kind of a booth seating, a bench, a car. If you need to do a bit of a wide base position, bend down and pick up, some flexibility on the inner thighs is good. As well, to help with the balance of muscle strength and length, to keep the knees in the right place. Tight muscles pull on joints and can change the position of the joints sometimes. There's the inner thigh stretch. Track your hands back for a chest stretch. Sit tall first out of that position, and then roll your shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and if you like, hold on to the seat or put your hands towards your hips, or just tuck your fingertips in your back pockets there. Feeling open in the posture. Great stretch for the chest and the shoulders. Shoulders can get tight, can pull on the shoulder joints, can end up rolling around in our shoulders and affecting our upper body posture there. So flexibility can sometimes decide joint position. So a bit of strength in muscles, but also importantly, a bit of length as well. Stretchability, flexibility. Upper side stretch. Let's just do the early part of this stretch first, and then we'll do a double arm stretch together. So there you've got the triceps being stretched, the 3 muscles coming out from your armpit and up around your elbow. Shoulder positioning as well, helping with lying down positions, over the head reaching positions and upward reaching positions too. You might want to lift up a bit more through the arm there to get a bit of stretch and length into the trunk, and then recover, and we'll do the other side. If you do this stretch and you're getting lots of length in your trunk, it's likely to ride your t-shirt or your jumper up. especially when we get into the realms of the double arm full reaching nutcracker stretch. Now your head in the middle. I caught myself almost doing that, but try and lengthen your neck and keep your head positioned comfortably. Bit of encouragement there for the elbow to go up. Little bit of opening out of the side, and relax there. So if your shoulders can feel a bit troublesome in high reaching areas, one shoulder might feel better than the other, let the better side lead the other side in your double arm nutcracker stretch up there. You might want to go only a small way up, but try and sit up through your trunk as well, or you might prefer to have your hands and arms like this, holding your forearms and then stretching through there. And relax. Okay, back of thigh. So back of thigh requires the leg to be really long and straight. So make sure that you are positioned in the seat so that there's no restrictions on that. The back of thigh is free. Leg straight, loose ankle, hands to support. Take a moment here with posture and then ease into it. Flexibility of the hamstrings and around the hips and knees of these muscles where they crisscross over those joints can determine how easy or how challenging, how comfortable or how uncomfortable reaching down to your feet or lower levels will be. And it could be a measure of success as well. Very tight hamstrings might not give you much success getting to your feet, whereas if we rehearse flexibility, improve flexibility, we get more success down at feet level. Shoes, socks, shoelaces, drying through your toes, checking your feet. You might be shaving your legs, ladies of the group. Shave your big toe even. A bit of extra grooming in places, who knows? Look, let's swiftly move on to the other leg. Hands on your knees, up you sit, forward you lean. Cringy. Neve's just said, I don't know whether you just heard Neve, but what did you say?
Cringy.
Cringy. So my hands on your knees thing. Right, off you go, love.
I'm taking the cat with
Okay.
me. Go on, Nels. Let's go.
Just creak that door behind you. Okay, there we go. That should do nicely. If you're staying in seated, pull the toes back and you'll be straight into a calf stretch. If you prefer to be in standing for your calf stretch, couple of ways you can do a calf stretch. The good old traditional way of calf stretching with this split stance, heel down, front knee bent. If you've got somewhere where you can put your foot up against, you can then just put a small bend into the front knee there and you'll feel that a bit lower down. Or alternatively, here's another calf stretch, a really nice calf stretch. Not to be done, however, on the top step of your staircase. A fireplace or a curb or a step on the bottom of your staircase. You can see them just dropping the heel down. So one foot's fully on, one foot's half on, half off, and the heel is going down towards the floor there. So you've got some options there. Swapping sides then. So here in seated, we're pulling the toes back. And where we are in standing, depending on what you want and where you are, we've got the regular calf stretch. We've got the toes against something, bending the knee forward slightly, calf stretch. Or we've got the dipping the heel off of a ledge calf stretch. Here's Willow now. know what you're saying to me. Just let me finish. Right, everyone. The girls often in the background, they're going, Mum, what's this? Can I go out? And, you know, can't do much about that, can I? Right, there we go. Thank you, Gillian, Chris. Both Gillians are in. Carol Watson's in. The Dickinsons are in. And I think that's everybody. Okay, everyone. Thanks for your time. Thanks for joining me. I'm off to tackle that humongous pile of washing now. Wish me luck. I may not ever be seen again. Have a good evening, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow.